and you're confidently playing in front of so many people. That's so great. And I've never seen you not smile. You just smile all the time. It's so cool. All right, so tell me a little bit. We've been through lots of storms and weather in our lives, right? There's some that are, you guys get some really crazy big storms down here. You get hurricane remnants and things. Tell me what kind of storm this one is. Is it a crazy storm or is it a different kind for you? Yeah, absolutely. She says pretty light little raindrops. I agree. So I think what we really want to make sure is, first of all, that you keep it pretty soft all the way through. What's our loudest dynamic, would you say? Can you find it? Mezzo forte, that's right. Yeah, and it's only for a few measures, right? So most of this really works on, I think what's really hard, same thing that Gianna had, is to have a sound, but to keep it kind of quiet, right? Intimate. And I agree, that's exactly the kind of weather I was thinking of when I write. I live in Utah. We don't get a lot of rain back there, so we don't get your crazy rainstorms. This is mostly kind of more Utah rain. That's what we get. So yeah, so I think it's really important that you kind of think about that concept as you're doing it. It also kind of helps us know what kind of articulation, right? There are lots of different kinds of staccatos. There's even heavy staccato soft. This is different than those, right? What would be kind of a raindrop piano staccato sound for you? What do you think? Yes, you got, when you first played your first note, I'm like, nah, it's not quite as soft as, that's one of those big sloppy southern Georgia raindrops, right? No, we want a nice little wimpy Utah raindrop. So let's see if you can you just practice this? And what I'd like you to see is your wrist actually going, I can kind of get a little bit scientific here. I want you to actually go to the same plane as the level of the keys. So you're not going to stay up here. Your wrist is going to bounce all the way until you're at the same elevation as your key. Can you do that? Show me. Yeah, I see your wrist moving. Good. So many kids, you'd feel like they weren't born with wrists. They just want to do that, right? I can see really supple wrist. So now let's make it a little tougher. I want to hear. Yeah, can you feel your wrist go down? Yeah, you know what happens when you do that, when you concentrate on the exact motion of your hands, is you get a similar sound all the way through. And I think you may have noticed some of your raindrops didn't penetrate, did they? They may have evaporated before they got to the ground, right? So I like the fact that you now are really thinking about, it makes sense. If we're using the same motion, we're probably going to get the same sound, right? So when you have that happening in your own piano, you're like, ooh, that note didn't come out. You don't just say, well, let me play it again. You may want to analyze, what did I do wrong? Oh, when I play on a black key, sometimes I don't do the same motion as my white key. So I can tell you're a deep thinker and you can think through the way that all of those staccatos can feel the same. Okay, let's do the whole first line. And I want you to be just as picky with your left hand. To me, this isn't a piece that is right hand loud, left hand soft. They're equal to me. They're both melodies, aren't they? So let me hear just the first line with the most perfect even staccatos. Yeah. And if you want to really get picky, some of your, for example, this was a little bit more of a down descent. It wasn't as short as the other ones, right? So maybe, and we've all used this analogy, let's also pretend, like you guys get here in Georgia, it's also a really hot summer day, right? So everything is going to be really kind of, when it bounces, it just evaporates steam, right? So I want to say, so, like the piano is really hot to even touch, okay? Let's try it. Nice. Ooh, I like it. Yeah, Helena, that's really, really good. How about your left, this little ascending? I bet you could be half that duration. I heard this. Sloppy, right? So now we want really light raindrops. Let me hear just that. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sometimes the left's a little harder. Yeah, that one starts on finger 4, I think, right? Am I looking right? That's it. So your 4, it's got a little bit of a different angle, so sometimes it can be a little lazy. So changing the angle just a bit, you can really bounce that too. Can you show me the nice bounciest left hand? Were they all the same length? Try that again. Yeah, I feel like your ring finger is a little longer than the other ones, right? This is where you get really picky as you get older. I bet you can be even half that duration. Da, 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 da. Yeah, and again, part of it's that bounce and the wrist bouncing. Feel that trampoline. Ring finger again is a little lazy. You're so close. That's getting better. One more time, tell yourself I'm going to be 200% shorter. I like it. And it's kind of like maybe like a pizzicato. Do you know what that is for a string instrument? That's where they pluck it. That's where they pluck the string. Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's go to the middle section where it gets a little bit louder. So we can have that same trampoline. And then that's our first long note. Can you show me that part? There's only maybe 3 or 4 notes in this whole piece that are long, right? There you are. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, look at the first one we have on between 19 and 20. And then you see those sideways V's next on those notes. Do you know what that means? What are the sideways V's? Exactly. So this is a little bit of a surprise, right? Maybe distant thunder, maybe there's maybe you're splashing in the water, but, and sometimes I hear you kind of, telling us the surprise too early. I hear a note long before the one, so keep them short, long, ba, 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 ba. Let's try that line one more time and really set up that surprise. And that one holds, right? But that was a great accent. Da, ba, 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 ba. One more time. Nice, really, really good. One of the other surprises about this is where it happens in the beat, right? What's usually the most important beat out of beat 1, 2, 3, and 4? What's usually the most important one? Not usually. Is there a one that usually is a bit louder? That's where this one is, so I think that's what you're thinking. But usually, what do we accent? Keep going. Keep going. Hey, how did you know? Good job. It's the first beat, exactly. We usually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That makes sense, right? So where this is happening is in a weird place, right? Syncopation is what we call it. It's kind of jazzy, right? So that's part of the fun in this. So, and notice the left hand doesn't lift up, right? So you've also got that. So there's a little choreography going on. Let's try it one more time. Keep it short, 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 short. You got this. That's it. So those moments where something's really long is a surprise in a piece that's almost all staccato. Can you look at another place that has a long note that you maybe want to surprise everybody with? Okay, let me hear it. Okay, so you're going to go short, 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 long. That needs to be big, right? That's it. And believe it or not, that G can be even longer. You see how it sneaks into the next measure? Let's try it one more time. Yes, really, really good. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of fun now, not this one, okay? So I want to expand this piece out, okay? Right now, it kind of feels like we just walked out for a minute into a little kind of drippy rain situation, then we come back inside. I'd like to see what would happen if we started the rainstorm, and we're gonna be really up here high with just random raindrops. Make them really random. I'll help you with this. And when you feel like you're ready, I want you to dive into the piece, okay? That's gonna be the first part. When we get to the very end, I want to see if you can give us a little bit of lightning in the distance. It'll be soft because it will. The storm's way over here. What would you? Let's do it up in the high register. What would you think lightning would feel like as on a piano? How do you want to do the lightning? Yeah. In fact, why don't we make it kind of, since it's kind of flickers? Let's do this. So it feels like that. And then what about some distant thunder? What do you want to do down low to make it really soft? Can you give me a good thundery sound? Yes, in fact, let's add some more notes to make it really rumbly. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to play along with you. This is going to be our big raindrop symphony. Let's remember what we're going to do. We're going to start really high, very soft and very slow. It's going to get more and more rainy, rainy, rainy. We're going to move down the keyboard. When I hear you start the piece, then we'll start. Then what do we do after the piece is done? Lightning, and then distant thunder, really soft. Okay, here we go. Here's our raindrop symphony together. I'll play with you too. Good staccatos. Keep it up. Hey, I like our symphony. Good job. You did a great job.